Cadma from the Bitten Apple. Okay, so this episode I want to discuss about being an introvert and a quiet person. Mainly starting with the problems of being one. I'm an introvert. I'm quiet, you know. It's just kind of what happens. Let me give you a little close-up on my list. Feel free to freeze frame if you want to really read them all. Because being an introvert and being a quiet person is not easy. It's really not, because people freak out in a very awkward way. A lot of things that I'll come across where people would try to talk to me, and by assuming that I'm shy, that I'm innocent, very pure, my mother would deem otherwise. But yeah, they look at me and go, she's quiet, she must be pure in mind. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go with it. So when they approach me in conversation, they tend to be like, why are you so shy? It's okay. It's okay. Come out of your shell. Come out of your shell. And I'm like, no, and I'm not scared to come out of my shell. I just don't want to. There are some things I'm taking care of back in there. Yeah. No offense. Sorry. Maybe later. Bye. Bye-bye. And it's always weird because whenever they do those conversations, they get themselves stuck in this awkward silence. I don't feel awkward, but they will, because they'll just sort of be like, so why are you so quiet? Like, because I want to. I don't have anything to say. And they look at you like, you have nothing to say. Like, not a single word to say to anyone. As if somehow I have made up that entire answer. Like, I sat there inside my mind freaking out, going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Why am I quiet? Why am I quiet? What's going on? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, quiet people, we have some loud minds, but that will not be one of the things that I will be loudly thinking. I'm just going to tell you, oh, I just don't have anything to say. And then there are the other people who get, like, offended. What do you mean you don't have anything to say? Like, it's really not you. I just don't have anything to contribute. You know, and then there are times where I get stuck in these engaging conversations where I want to contribute, and there's that one dude, there's always that one dude who will know exactly what I am thinking, and he'll be like, ah, I got it, this is clever, it's funny, and then he'll say it, and then I'll be like, yeah, now I gotta come up with something new, you know. For me, that's just like kind of annoying. One of the issues that a lot of us introverted, quiet people tend to deal with is people assuming our personalities. Either we're boring, or, you know, we're having some kind of issue, and they'll think, oh yeah, she's really sad. Oh my god, are you okay? Come talk to us. Are you angry about something? Is that what the problem is? And I'm always like, no, I'm not upset about anything. And they go, well, why do you look like this if that'll mean this? And I'm like, no, really, it's fine. Really, I'm okay. I'm really just sitting here feeling like this, and you're interrupting me now, making me feel like this, telling me that because my face looks like this, I look like this, so now I feel like this. I'm just saying, think about what you're telling us. You know, doesn't make us feel good. You know, sometimes we're just a little quiet. The other thing that will happen is that people assume that I'm antisocial. I'm not. I'm selectively social. There's like an application process, as well as I expect, you know, trade references, things like that, in order to completely, you know, process your application. And once I've deemed that it's good, we go forward, you know. But that's not what ever happens, because then people said they have to translate everything else. The other thing people will assume for me is she likes him. She has a huge crush. She has to, because she never like lights up. And people don't seem to understand. I naturally look like this. I'm from New York. We have resting bee face. That's what we look like, or at least what I do. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I could be all like, you know, on the inside, but I look like this. And it's not something I developed over time. Like, it's not because, like, wow, what happened to you growing up? Like, what was that made this kind of face come out? What happened to you? And I'm always like, don't be a jerk. First of all, I looked like this when I was 3. My mom has a picture of me in a pink dress. 3 years old, okay? And I'm sitting there, my hands crossed, shoulders back, and this is made for the picture. At 3 years old. 3! Okay? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that's what I look like. Like, I did a side-by-side picture on Instagram where it was my 3-year-old self with my 30-year-old self, and they were like, wow, nothing's changed. I was like, yeah, that's how I look. So what were you saying about my face? I'm serious. The other thing that I hate is when people try their best to get me to talk. Like, it becomes like a bet or like a game, or they do silly things like, I'm going to talk to her from across the room. And I'm always like, that little idea of yours is very silly. Because I'm not going to do it. I am not going to do what you think I'm going to do. By going across the room, I will actually get up and walk all the way across from there. Or now in modern day, if I can, I will just text you. I do it to my best friend all the time. Accept it. I'm just not going to do it. Come on, let it go. Stop making bets. I will talk to you when I feel like it. You know, people assume like, that I'm boring, you know, or whatever it is, and then it'll be like, you talk to that person? And it's always my best friend, because my best friend is just as quiet as I am, but he'll make fun of me, and like, because I move really quickly, and he'll be like, meep, meep, and I'll be like, ha, and I'll bust out laughing, and I'll be like, what happened? There's sound! What happened? Did they take the mute button off? What happened? What's going on? You know, and it freaks people out completely, like every single time when they realize, oh, there's a vocal set in there, and I'm like, yeah, I talky, I just don't want to. Please pay attention to that. Sometimes when we're quiet, we just don't feel like talking, you know. I mean, I had ex-boyfriends complain about how quiet I was, and I would always tell them, I don't know what you're complaining about. I mean, what kind of male complains about a quiet woman? Just saying. All of you guys complain about we talk too much, and then you get a quiet one, and you're like, is she trying to kill me? Which is always a fun assumption, because then nobody bothers you, because everyone always goes, it's always the quiet people. And I'm always like, yeah, maybe you should be a little nicer. So, you know, it'll be that, or if I'm reading a book, people will feel the need to be like, you read an awful lot. Like, you read. And I'm like, well, I don't really talk a lot, so I have to make up for something. You know? Just because I'm quiet also doesn't mean that I'm not paying attention. In fact, quiet people, we are the most observant people ever. In fact, that's honestly what everyone else freaks out about, is because we're actually paying attention. That means that we're watching you. We got our eyes all up on you. And that concerns you, because that means when you did that weird thing, or when you checked out so-and-so's butt, or when you made that comment about so-and-so, yeah, we heard you. We heard the whole thing. But we're quiet. So we're not going to, report it, okay? You know, you commit a crime, we're not going to say nothing, obviously, because we're quiet people. And I feel like people should just come to accept that. There are just some things that they should, come to accept. I mean, when I was a kid growing up in school, my teachers actually thought I was a mute. And they pulled my mother to the side, and they were saying, we think it's unfair to have your daughter in these regular classes, and we're concerned about how she's going to do socially, how her, psychological, blah, 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 how that's all going to work because she's a mute. And my mom had the biggest smile on her face. She was just like, she does not shut up when she is home. Are you kidding me? This kid will talk your ear off. But we'll go back to that key point. The reason why I would talk my mother's ear off is because I was close to my mom. Okay? Close. So when I'm close to you, I'm more prone to speaking. Very important to know about quiet people. So, my mom tells me, she goes, come here. So, I walk in a room, quiet as ever, and she goes, talk. So I look at her, I'm like, what do you want me to say? The look on the teacher's face, she was just in like, you have a voice? You talk? You speak? There's a voice box in there? And I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't sell it to the Sea Witch, so what's the shock factor? And then she looked at me and goes, well, why don't you talk more to your peers? And I'm like, I don't want to. Well, you need to participate more now in class. At this point, now I was very, very, very upset with my mom, because now I'm feeling like this. Because I'm like, now you blew my cover. I didn't have to talk before participate. Now I got to do so. Thanks, Mom. So the teacher tells me, she's like, you got to participate more. And at some point she spoke to me again. And she told me, it's your job, as part of your peers to speak up, share, what you're thinking. And I'm like, I'm thinking 2 + 2 = 4. We all should know that. And then she told me, like, well, as one of your peers, it looks good because you're teaching the class as you speak. You know, you got to answer and participate, because when you participate, you're teaching your class. And I was like, why do I want to teach my class? You know, that's your job. Okay? Just simply saying, that's not my job, that's your job. My job is to come here and learn, and then when I leave, I learn some more, and then I come back and get perfect grades. I feel like I've done my job already. What do you need me to do? She just gave me this weird look, like you're just not getting it. And I'm like, no, I comprehend exactly what you're saying. I just don't want to. I wasn't giving in. Are you kidding me? I don't give in like that. Anyone who knows me or has come across me, I do not give in like that. So yeah, just because we're quiet, just because we're introverts, doesn't mean because we're friendly with someone, you know, that we're in love with them. Okay, this little thing does not mean I'm in love with him. Just because I'm being friendly, okay? Just because I have this little face, that does not mean that I am angry. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm depressed. Don't get me wrong, I go through those emotions, and when I am angry, and considering how stoic face I look, you will know when I am pissed off at you. My mother's name is Tammy, and I have been called Little Tammy because my mom has the same face, so when they see me make that face, they're like, oh. So you will learn that face like everybody else has. It's okay. So don't assume that I am feeling that way, you know? And if you really want me to get me to talk, don't approach me and ask me why are you so shy and quiet? It's not going to happen. You know what the best way to do to make me talk? Is simply just eat food. You have food that I like sushi? Oh, I will be your best friend. I will be like, hi. So, I see you have some sushi. Is that salmon? Is that crab roll? What's in there? What's going on? Yellowtail? I get really involved with my sushi. So, just because we're quiet, just because we're extroverted, against you extroverted people, introvert versus extroverted. Wow, I messed that one up. Anyway, the point is, don't assume anything. I'm quiet. The easiest way to get to know your quiet person is 1, be patient, and 2, be patient. We'll talk when we feel like it. Okay? We're not all against people. We just try our very best to avoid them. You know, like the loquacious ones in tight elevators who want to talk to us because we're quiet. Terrible. Thanks for watching. Oh, this is so good. So good. Easiest way to get me to talk to you. Have food. Food!